Hi, Patrick here from Have Cheetah Will View. It's Friday the 13th, so that could be only one thing, right? Get ready, because we're going to talk a little bit what made Friday the 13th a little famous. We're going to talk about Shocker. All right, so see, shocked you that I thought I was gonna. You thought I was gonna say Jason, but I'm not. We're already doing that in the Midnight Society. So actually, this is Dollar Tree Theater. So welcome to Dollar Tree Theater. So this is the movie that you guys all voted on for me to watch. I have never seen Shocker. I know about it. I know Wes Craven directed it, wrote it and directed it. Um, uh, I know its history. It has one of the stronger casts around. A lot of people did this movie that went on to do bigger and greater things. It stars Peter Berg as Jonathan Parker, Cami Cooper as Allison, Richard Brooks as Rhino, Mitch Pileggi as Horace Peaker, and Michael Murphy as Don Parker. That's Jonathan's dad. And it also has a cameo appearance by Sam Raimi's brother, Ted Raimi. Ted Raimi's brother is Ted Raimi is in this movie. He's Sam Raimi's brother, and it's not a Sam Raimi movie. Pretty impressive. All right, so here's the plot. Is there's a crazy man named Horace Pinker. He's going around and he's slaughtering people, and the cops are 10 steps behind him, and they can't get a lead on him. They can't get anything on him. They have no idea who he is. He's like the perfect killer. But for some reason, Jonathan Parker knows. He figures out who he sees Horace Pinker in the act. In fact, he even sees Horace Pinker kill his mom, and his stepmother, and his brothers, and it's terrible. He wakes up and it's like a dream. But he goes outside and he sees all the fire trucks there and the police are there, and sure enough, he dreamt what he saw. His mom and two brothers were killed, and his dad rushes over there, and Jonathan tells him that he knows who did it. He knows who did it. He knows how it was done. And his dad is skeptical at first until Jonathan tells him details that they hadn't even discovered yet. They just got to the crime scene, but yet he knows details. So his dad's a little shaken by that, and so he knows. He says, I can lead you to him. I can help you find him." And of course, his dad's like, "No, that probably wouldn't be a good idea." But then he relents, and he says, I know his name." And so they track him down, Horace Pinker, down to his place of business. But they don't really take it all that seriously uh, as Don Parker has only taken 4 of the cops with him, so it's just him and 4 cops. They don't even have a search warrant. They're just, it's almost like he's entertaining Jonathan. But lo and behold, they enter the shack, and where Horace Pinker is working as a TV repairman, and they find out that he might be a little bit more involved than they think. And in case they had any doubts, he ends them by killing all 4 policemen, and stealing the uniform out of one. Of course, now that they know him and identified him, that sets off Horace again, because the tip came from Jonathan, so he wants to hurt Jonathan back. So he kills Allison brutally, and so it's on. The game is on, and they're tracking Horace Pinker, and they finally catch him after a long fight, and where he's almost going to kill Jonathan until the cops come. But they only delay the inevitable. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not going to do that again. You know what I mean. And they kill him. He's sentenced to die. He has the quickest death sentence ever, because during the fight, when he got busted, he slashed Jonathan on the cheek, and yet at the death sentencing, where he's gonna be executed, he hasn't healed yet. It's not a scar. He just hasn't healed yet. So let's talk about instant justice for you, right? If only it could have worked that easy, right? I mean, but there you go. Um, anyway, Horace, what they don't understand is how Horace has made a deal with the devil. That's right. A little bit of occultism there for you. Huh. I don't know, when did Child's Play come out? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself here. Um, anyway, so he gets executed, or so it seems. But he's made a deal with the devil, and so he's able to have the power to go from body to body to body. And for some reason, instead of just vanishing, from the city, for some reason he decides to stay around and hunt down Jonathan. So those two are at it. Jonathan wants revenge because he killed his girlfriend, and his girlfriend comes back in a really sweet, unexpected way, and to help Jonathan out. And so the that's just the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie is just one long chase. I really wish I could sit there and tell you that there's something happened about it, there's character development about it, or anything else like that. But we really just see just a lot of chases and some killings. Um, and at the end of the movie, there's a last 10-minute scene where Horace Pinker and Jonathan are chasing each other through different television sets, which showcases all the Universal Studio shows. Um, you see the Universal Monsters, see Leave It to Beaver, and some other shows, right? Televangelism is poke fun at. Um, and then finally, Jonathan, he manages to trick Horace Pinker into diving into a television that he cuts off all power to, and he can't go anywhere. He's imprisoned. Okay. Now, I have never seen this movie. I know I had heard about it. I heard many things about it. I heard, a lot of people like it. I heard it was a horror comedy. There's some definitely some comedic elements toward the very end. Um, but this is my thoughts. I really liked the first half of the movie. The first half of the movie was pretty outstanding. Um, Definitely borrowed liberally from Nightmare on Elm Street and makes no bones about it. Instead of Freddy coming up into your dreams, Horace Pinker's coming up through his electricity. So that's the gimmick. And obviously Freddy went down to hell when he was killed by the parents. So, and Horace Pinker, there's also that occultism connection. So there's no bones about it. Wes Craven did borrow from himself in a lot of ways. The first half of the movie is really good. I liked it a lot. I thought that the acting was good, and the premise, he set up the premise real good, and some fun scenes in there. But the second half of the movie, especially the last third of it, boy, it just fell apart. Just fell completely apart. Made no sense. Repetitive. The last chase through the scene, the TV sets made no sense at all. It's trying to be cute, showing all the Universal Studio, all their TV shows and whatnot. It just wasn't. It was just a waste of a good cast. It was almost like I refer to this movie a lot when I see this happen. Sometimes a movie will have a hard time ending. It just can't find its ending at all, and it just like Bachelor Party. Bachelor Party is the one movie I can remember that they were having a good time, but they just didn't know how to end it. It was just confusing for them. So they said, "What the hell? We'll just, if you ever watched Bachelor Party, go back and watch it. It goes from a fun comedy to just a slapstick, and it sort of stings. It sort of hurts the movie overall. It's like, wow, sort of goofy. You can't take it seriously. And I think for this movie, that's what happens to it too. It lessens the impact because Horace Pinker is a monster. He's a great villain, terrific villain. But the ending, it just doesn't do it. It defangs him a little bit. Um, I mean, overall, I would give this movie like a 5 out of 10. I wouldn't really go much more than that. But I think what's really interesting is what happens after the movie, right? After the movie. So Richard Brooks, who played Rhino, his best friend, he went on to have a tremendous success in Law and Order. He played a lawyer, a DA, in Robinette in Law and Order. Tremendous role, did a great job. Mitch Pileggi, who played Horace Peaker, our villain, he went on to do Stargate Atlantis. He also went on to do the X-Files. He played Scully and oh Lord, there you go. Oh, he played in X-Files. Played their boss. Oh boy, Mulder, Scully and Mulder. He played their boss. And Richard Berg went on to become a very successful producer and director. He did movies like The Kingdom. He did Deepwater Horizon. He did 22 Mile. He did Friday Night Lights. He became a tremendous director and producer in his own right. But the one that's probably the most impressive is Cammie Cooper, who played Allison, the girlfriend. She went on to become boy, I have this down, right? Well, she ended up joining an organization called RAIN, which stands for Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, which reaches out and helps young women in that situation. She also led the laws being strengthened against that in 2008, and it made hundreds of thousands of American women more safe, and gave much more tools to law enforcement to save these people and to make sure justice is brought to them. So that's what she did after she stopped acting. Like I said, I mean, it's what they did after this movie that really made them stand out. This is one of Wes Craven's lesser movies for me. I mean, it's solid. It has a little bit of tongue in cheek for it. It made almost $17 million at the box office. Not great money. I mean, even back then, that wasn't really that much money. I mean, so it's probably one of the reasons why we didn't get another franchise out of it. But in this day and age where people want to talk about redoing a franchise, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if they went back and revisited old Horace, because he would be interesting to see how he would perform today, especially in this high-tech world, right? Could you imagine the stories they could get out of it with him? Tremendous. Much more than back in 1889, which is before the internet. If you wanted to bring somebody back, I would think this would be a good character to bring back in the right hands. All right. That's it for this. That's it for this edition of Dollar Tree Theater. I'm going to show you the movies that currently are being voted on and currently not being voted on. We have a horror film called Everfall. That's up. We have another fun, exciting bad shark movie with Tracy Lords, Shark Kansas Women's Prison, which I actually thought you guys would be picking that. I really did. I thought this is the movie they're going to pick for me and the Cheetah to watch, because they know how much we love a bad shark movie. But I digress. And lastly, we have a fun comedy with a great cast. We have Jess Stoltz, Mina Savuri, Jennifer Finnegan, Josh Hopkins, and Christian Chenoweth, who's absolutely darling. We have A Bet's a Bet. It's a bet that this is not getting picked for Dollar Tree Theater, because as of right now, Cheetah's Choice is winning again. You want me and the Cheetah to pick something else, so we're game. We're game. Oh yeah, we got some stuff. We got something to pick out. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm now 15 minutes. I'm way over my run time. So if you're new to the channel, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment, maybe even introduce yourself before you come at me and say, hey, how about a sub for a sub? You know who I'm talking to. That would be nice. I'm Patrick, by the way. Never got your name. Yeah, I got that today. Somebody bum rushed me and wanted to do a sub for a sub, which I don't mind helping out. I was just trying to give a little clarity and to that, have a little humor, a little shocking humor. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Happy Friday the 13th. We will see you Sunday at 9 p.m. here on my channel for our deep dive into Jason X, which is my favorite movie of the franchise, which you probably heard me say about 20,000 times. Now you heard it 20,001 times. All right, we'll talk at you soon. Peace.